What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What is up? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
And we got
Jamie
man
Lee
himself in the house.
Special
Jamie Lee
guest.
and Connor's dad. Connor.
That's how he's not.
That's how it's become
That's his claim.
known as.
That's his claim to fame.
Yeah, he's Connor's dad now. Jamie Lee. What's up, man?
Not much, man. Good to be here. Good to be here, and looking forward to it.
Well, we're glad to have you. You've been highly requested to come on. So
Wow.
Strongly requested by a
strongly
few number of
requested.
people.
Hey, it's good to be wanted. I
Good
guess.
to have a loud few in your corner, right? Yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll get in all stuff. Jamie's gonna hang out with us the whole show here, I reckon. You good with that?
Yeah, we're good.
Good. Because
Rock on.
I think y'all rode together. Didn't you?
Yeah. I'm here anyway, so
Just leave me here tonight.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, cool. What's been up with you? What's been up, Connor?
Really, not a lot this week. No, we didn't race Saturday. You know, we heard you went to Sumter, but we just kind of hang around the house and went to visit some grandparents
Cool.
and just pretty slow week for us racing wise and all. We're hopefully we'll be back in action Saturday.
Good deal. How about you, Jamie?
watch the Cars Tour race.
Yeah,
think so. You
we did
watched
watch
Star
that.
Trek?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
the,
did do
the
that.
Braves would disappoint me, so I
Yeah.
was okay to switch it over.
What's going on with the Braves?
It's the play every year when they have a week
Don't bring that up.
when they have a couple of days off for the wild card, it messes them up. It messes them up totally.
So they just need to keep playing it.
I'd rather be in the
keep
wild
playing.
card. I think.
Just stay in it.
Yeah.
Just stay in it.
Yeah, but
They
yep, we watched a little bit of racing.
I'm missing the few years ago when we had the Freddie Freeman.
Well, that's the thing. The year we shouldn't have been in. The year we should have been knocked out first round. We go on an incredible run.
Yeah.
And the years, I mean, I'm not also. It was first game, but like last year, the year that was like we're so much better than we were last year and first round exit. I mean, that's just that's the best baseball. Baseball is such a streaky sport, so any team will get hot for 4 or 5 games, and that's just
What's
all
so
it takes.
bad is this a sport that I love baseball, but I cannot sit down and watch it.
Same way.
I can watch the Braves only.
I can watch it for a while, and I don't know, it just drags on too long or something.
I'm the same way. I'm like 1-2 innings, all right, and if it starts just 3 and out, I'm like, all right, I'm done. And I know some people love that. Some people like, man, he's pitching good. I'm like, it's making it for a real boring game.
yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same way in racing, I guess. Somebody just checks out on the field.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
they're doing great, but man, this is boring.
I watch Carolina and the Braves, and that's if I don't have a team playing, I agree. I can't watch it.
We didn't really talk about our Gamecocks last week too much, did we?
It wasn't on belief. I didn't.
we had
I
off
didn't even.
week
I
this
usually will go back and watch it, but I don't think I didn't even bother to
Well,
watch
we
it.
didn't have a game this past week, so we couldn't lose.
We didn't lose. That's
Couldn't
right.
lose.
That's right.
But we got Florida coming up this Saturday with our Gamecocks.
I don't know. We might win. We might lose by 30. I don't know.
Us by 30. Don't know if that's a win or a loss, but it'll be
Yeah,
us by
yeah.
30 somehow.
Absolutely.
Somehow. Cool. Well, Jamie, tell everybody out there a little bit about you. What you doing nowadays? What's your week consist of?
My official role is Connor Lee, crew chief, I guess. Car owner.
Pit crew.
Yeah, a week consists of me and Connor working. We got Pete Holtz helping us. My friend Josh Bear helps us. We're Dennis Brown, and we're doing legend cars with him now. Pretty busy week between keeping race cars, working, all that. So it keeps me busy.
This man,
No driving yet.
this man's the only man I know. We'll be at the track. He talking about, I got to be at work. I'm like, what time? When we get home. I'm like, God.
Yeah, on top of working a rotating shift. Yeah, that takes the other part of my time.
We were, he comes to track on Saturdays, and I just got off a little while ago. I'm like, man, I don't know how you do it. And they be wide open around there the whole day, and I'm like, man.
Yeah, did I
I'm
crash the
Yeah,
next day?
well,
I
that's,
bet. I don't know how you move for a couple of days after that.
Oh, I
I
know.
don't know how you function either.
I was, I did some rotating shift stuff one time, and that was some stuff I never got used to. How long you been doing that?
About 11 years now.
Have you?
Yeah, too long.
You feel like you got used to it by
No,
this point?
No,
I think so. I was there a few years, and I just my body never got used to it.
yeah, it is tough on you. Yeah, but
Cool. Cool. Well, Jamie, let's go to it, man. You come from a family of racers background. Tell us a little bit about you first, your history, where you come from, all that fun stuff.
You want to go all the way back?
Yeah, let's go. Let's talk. I mean,
I've been at it a while now.
It's funny because
there's
That's what everybody wants to hear about.
That's what everybody wants to hear.
Because I've
we
been driving for a long
back.
time, and even before that, I was coming to the race as a kid. Guess probably when I was probably around 10 years old, started going with my dad. He was part of the three racers for any of the old timers out there probably remember the three racers. They had a dirt team, and people drove for them. Started going with them to Lakeview, Hartsville, Darlington, Fayetteville. That was kind of my interest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Went to a few races there. Yeah. Sumter a little bit. So kind of went to dirt races with them. Probably, guess around 1992, I started driving myself. And
Senior in high school?
Right after I graduated high school. I was working on it.
Late bloomer.
Yeah.
As today's standards, late bloomer.
I wanted to drive
probably
for several years, and my dad wasn't like, you didn't just say, hey, I want to drive, I'm going to put you in a car, we got this for you to drive and all that. I mean, he was kind of, they were doing, they had several late models or a late model running and had several different drivers throughout the years. He was kind of like, no, I don't, he didn't really want me to mess with it. And we kind of went around him and bought a really raggedy old Pinto.
Junkyard.
That's what I'm talking about.
He was like, well, if you're gonna do it, take it to this guy and get a cage put in it. Take it to this, get you a motor from this guy. And so he kind of came on board after we decided we were going to do it anyway. So that was about 1992. We built the mini stock and started racing that year. And up till a few years ago, drove pretty much since then. Moved up, ran the mini stock a few years, moved up to late model stock.
Sweet. Well, go back a little bit. You talked about your dad, Mr. Shelby Lee. Everybody around these parts knew him. I mean, everybody had to stop and talk to him every time we were at the track. But what was it like? You said your dad didn't really want you in it to begin with.
Yeah.
But after you got in it, I know he loved it and was there every bit of it. But coming from a background of, him being so successful actually in this area with race cars and stuff, how was it racing with him?
It was tough. I'm not gonna lie, because him and at the time I started driving, him and Woody were teamed up together, and they had several drivers that won a lot of races, and they were used to winning a lot. And I think Todd Kelly was their last driver before me, and they won championships and won every week. And so I get in, and it's like
expectations were
high.
Yeah,
it's like you want to keep that going, and we didn't for a while. So it was tough. It got better, as I caught on. But for several years it was tough. But we both enjoyed it. We fussed and fought a little bit and had some good times together. So I think it made us spend a lot more time together than maybe we would have. So I can't count that as a blessing to get to do that for so many years.
Man, it was and I remember it was funny because, like I said, our families intersected so much because my dad was over there with your dad for many years, and then I somehow ended up at the racetrack with y'all sometime back in the day. Me and John Odom were out there.
Yeah,
together.
Once you start going, you're kind of stuck in that lifestyle for a while.
I'm telling you. And man, it's I was always I always thought personally, I'm just gonna go ahead in there. I always thought Jamie Lee was one of the best drivers in this area. Period. I did. I mean, you talk about.
Thank you.
I was, I
not
grew
everybody
up over
agree
there.
with you.
I mean, no. What I always thought, and I guess I was a little bit. I don't know. You know how it was growing up as a racer. I always thought, it's not that you was winning every week. It was just you were a consistent driver. You were consistently right there, consistently in the hunt. I mean, for what I remembered being at the track when I was younger, and so that was it was always cool. And I always thought, I told somebody earlier, I said, man, I said, this is a big old circle. I said, now Connor's over here on a podcast with me every week. I said, whew, this is just a big circle, big circle.
Yeah, about time I think you're slowing down and getting out of it a little bit. And then Connor comes along and decides he wants to race. And what have you been racing now since?
7 years.
7 years?
Been driving 7 years.
Yeah.
Racing 17.
Been going with us, but so it keeps on going. It's kind of going full circle now.
All right, so I see y'all two at the track all the time, and I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit before we get back into your career at it. But you talked about your dad, how it was tough sometimes with him, and racing. Have you understood some of that now since you've been going since Connor started driving?
I like to think I'm a little more understanding and know the driving side. My dad never drove; he didn't. Yeah. But I see the challenges, and I know the challenges he goes through sometimes, and I know as a driver you're doing everything you can in that car, and sometimes you just don't get the result you wanted. So. Yeah, I understand, but it is tough. I mean, I try not to be too hard on him. I feel like I'm not, but
when you started, Connor, it was obviously your granddad and your dad there with you. Did you feel like you caught something from both sides every once in a while?
No. I mean, my granddad didn't think I did anything wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I was the next Jeff Gordon to him.
Yeah.
No, I really appreciated or enjoyed learning all I can. I mean, we take it serious, but I think we're at a point now where we kind of know that this isn't. Oh yeah. This ain't everything. I mean, it's a lot for sure. We spend a lot of time. But it's not the end all be all. But
that's right.
But we still come to racetrack and want to win.
I will say that kind of rejuvenated him getting to see Connor race and start to win some races. So I think it was good for him also. I mean, it was good for me too, but I think he really enjoyed watching Connor race.
Oh, it was always good to see that chair get folded out on the back of the tailgate.
Sit at the back of the trailer and greet the people.
That's right. That's right.
Complain about something.
Yeah. Tell us what we're doing wrong.
Oh, cool. All right, well, Jamie, let's go back, and I know Connor wasn't necessarily there for it, but I know you've heard some of the stories.
I've watched. There's something on YouTube where it's like 1995, 96, like highlights, and if we had that many wrecks, if we were that rough today, there wouldn't be nobody left.
It was tough.
It was. You got to figure every class had a ton of cars in it, and it was.
I will say
they do appear a little rougher.
Well, do you think back then, getting into that's what I want to go to. Back then, after you got started good, do you think back then, looking at it now, looking back, hindsight, I feel like the classes were a little bit more, I ain't gonna say competitive necessarily, but they were more similar. The cars were more similar, I guess we'll say, and kind of, ran closer together to be that rough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think so or no?
Well, I mean, maybe somewhat. I know that each class could have, 5 or 6 people that could win the race.
Yeah.
And I know even back running mini stock and stuff, there was a bunch of cars in that class and a bunch of good cars, and then right on through. So I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think there was.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, basically. It's like instead of there being, 1 or 2 drivers that could win a night, that, like you just said, there was a handful.
And you could have somebody get on a hot streak still.
Oh, yeah.
And, win a bunch of races.
Well, I remember when Todd Kelly got on a streak out there at Marsh for a long time.
For several years, we could do no wrong. That was that's kind of what they were used to when I came along. We'd just come off of a couple of years where, it was. Every time you unloaded, you were a threat to win. So let's go back a little bit into your racing. You kind of covered the whole spectrum there for a little while. But let's go back a little more detail on it. Okay.
When you started, you said you started a little 4-cylinder car.
Yeah, started mini stock.
Mini stock. So how'd that go for you? Just off the bat, how did that go?
Not bad. First year I think by our 5th or 6th race, we were competitive and had, I think I won about 3 that first year, and then the next year won a few more, and the third year with it, I mean, it was like awesome. We won like 10 races. Won the championship in the class.
Tell them about how they make you used to make you start in the back.
Yeah, they had.
every
If you won, I'm trying to remember if it was 3 races in a row.
Yeah.
You would start in the back. They make you start in the back for. I can't remember if it was the rest. It might have been the rest of the year.
Oh wow.
So they would.
for a 15-lap feature. wasn't
Yeah.
it?
So we
Tough there.
yeah, we'd power through the field. It was fun. Me and a couple friends. I think Josh Bear was helping me then. We were enjoying it, man. We just working on cars, learning all about racing, and did that from I think 94 was the last year I drove that.
Cool. So then you moved up to what
Drove-
after that?
Late model.
Late. You went straight to late
Yeah.
model after that.
Yeah,
So how was that transition, if you remember?
it was a tough one. It was had good runs the first year with it. I'd say by mid-year we were getting competitive. I wouldn't say we were where we were because I mean it was the same car that had just won the championship the year before and won a ton of races. Took some licks, got in some wrecks, you name it. It was up and down the first year. I will say that it was a little tough, little reality check, I guess you'd say.
Oh, I bet so. I bet so.
Um,
So when that came around, what was the turning point for you in that okay, you started feeling comfortable in this car?
maybe like the second half of that season, started qualifying a little better, getting some better, maybe not being a threat to win, but running inside the top 5, doing that consistently kind of toward the end of the year. Just time. See, we'd go over there and we practiced a lot, and by the end of the year, we were getting better. We weren't quite a threat to win, but we were getting better.
Cool.
Big improvement.
What I remember, I was a lot younger then, obviously, and it's been a few years. But see, like I was saying there, what I remembered about you was you talking about you had some bumps, wrecks here. I don't ever remember you wrecking much.
I didn't do it, but I tried not
That's
to
what
do
I'm
it, but
saying. And
because my corners wouldn't put up with a lot of that.
but there were some guys out there that would just destroy a car.
I felt like I was a cup driver racing to keep my seat.
Exactly.
It probably wasn't that
We're
bad.
just points racing, all right, guys.
I mean, I felt like the pressure to take care of the car, get a good finish. So I consciously had to maybe not take some risks, try and take care of the car.
So you move on a few years, y'all start doing pretty good in the car, really.
Yeah, actually, the second year,
Yeah.
we won the first race of the season. The second year, I'm trying to remember.
Where all were you racing at this point
Just
in time?
Florence.
Just
with the
Florence.
car, yeah.
Yeah.
When I went to Late Model, we were just running Florence.
Yeah.
My second year, we started going down to Myrtle Beach, maybe a couple times a year. Or get a rain out, a week off or something. We'd go down to Myrtle Beach. So
Cool.
it was kind of rotating there. Not many at Myrtle. Going to Myrtle Beach was like a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wow, we're going somewhere. So we did do that a couple times my second year, but mostly Florence.
What about what was it? What was the year in for the regional? Was that 99, 98?
99. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't really run for the region, but 99 we won. Trying to remember if it was. We won 10 or 12 races over in Florence.
But, that's the year you finished really good in regional,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
which is
Yeah,
kind of
third-
like how it is now, where
Ended up
you try to go around to other tracks and car counts.
Yeah.
That helps points. I don't know.
ended up led the region for a little while. Car count was kind of
Yeah, I remember you talking about
up and down there. It would be
bringing 2 cars to the track.
yeah.
and
We
stuff
were
like that.
trying to get people to come.
Oh, that was being done this year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, I mean,
I'm still playing those
Yeah,
games.
you would if you could get something, but we would we tried that. We were real close. We ended up third in the region, won the track championship in that year. So had a real good year. That was probably my best year in Florence.
That's what I was fixing to say. Is that what you would think of as one of your better years there?
Yeah, I got 1 year in Florence. I'd say was my best year, and one at the beach where I had a very similar year.
All right, so moving on from there, when you kind of you've established yourself at this point, kind of as
Yeah.
Florence is, you won track champion. I mean,
Yeah.
at that point it's like, all right, well, what do you do next? You go to try to win another?
Let's see how that went out. let's see, won the 96, 98, and 99 championship in Florence.
What happened in '97?
And we'll have a nice evening.
Trying to remember. we ran the truck series somewhere in there and did both.
That's right. You did run the truck.
did the late models on Friday night and the trucks on Saturday night.
Wow.
And
And the trucks were traveling to
I don't
lots of
remember.
tracks, weren't they? All up.
Yeah,
Every
it was
track in
running-
South
Yeah, they had
Carolina.
a little rotation of tracks along
Hickory
the
and-
East Coast here.
I
And
remember when they kind of started those around
Yeah.
here. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
that's
we-
right.
yeah, we'd
I
have-
forgot you would run.
we'd have
run
20,
those.
25 trucks, going to Caraway, Greenville, Pickens, ran about Hickory, ran several tracks with it. So right in there, 97, 98, we ran that. And then I think 99, we cut back to just the car. The following year, Florence, I think that might have been the year Charlie Powell got
I
it.
think it is. Yep.
And they went to like a cross limited, kind of like limited Charger class or whatever.
I got you.
So we still had all the late model cars. We jumped over and ran that was the first full year at the beach, 2000.
I got you. All right. Well, I'm gonna ask you something, and I don't remember if it was that year, maybe a year or two after that, probably. I'm gonna go ahead. We ask the hard questions, Jamie.
Okay. All right.
We're gonna get into the fun parts here. You said you had some, success and stuff at the beach, but I remember one time down at the beach, and I talked to you about this at the track. It was just one of the most memorable parts for me because we'll bring up some names. My dad used to help a guy named Jim Reams.
Oh, yeah.
Way back in the day.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, I figured you had.
Yeah.
Well, and that was back when I was probably 4 or 5 years old, 3, 4, 5, something like that. And it's funny because I had, little pictures in his car and everything. That's what I remember being at the track. Well, then I remember one night being at Myrtle Beach and y'all were running, and me and John Odom went down there and I hung around y'all. I ain't gonna say help by no means. We hung around over there. And you and Jim got into a little, I don't know what we're gonna call this. We call this a scuffle. Not really a scuffle,
Yeah,
but it was a
little bumper tag after the race. Yeah. Yeah.
and I remember looking up and somebody had a jack handle in their hand, and I was like, "Oh, this is about to get bad."
Yeah. I had several run-ins with Jim. And I look, Jim. I mean, him and my dad were great friends for so many years. I feel like I killed all that, but because they were really good friends. But yeah, it just seemed like we were like magnets, man. It's like if we were around each other, we were gonna hit each other, and sometimes on purpose, sometimes not. But he'd hit me, I'd get mad. I'd pay him back somewhere down the road, and it just kind of went on and on for a while like that.
I will say that night was probably the best move I've ever seen in racing. After the race, we're standing there in the pits, and we're waiting on Jamie to come back. All of a sudden, we see him and Jim Reams flying down pit road wide open, I think. Jim's behind him. All of a sudden, they get to the end of pit road, and you just hang a hard right, and he goes by. I thought he was going to run head on into the wall.
Yeah. After the race, they were like, he's coming. And I was like, where's he at? Because I just, all I could picture him was just running right through my car. I was like,
He tried. He definitely tried. Yeah, you missed that fun, Connor.
Yeah. I don't remember.
It's a good thing you were a little bit cooler than I am.
Oh, it was
I'm
heated,
sure
but
it was.
Oh, it got very heated.
Yeah.
It got very heated.
And
I remember Mr. Shelby coming
I
out the
can't imagine
trailer,
him
and he was the voice of reason, I will say. He was heated also, but he kind of,
yeah.
everybody stop. And just, all right, here we go.
So
But no, that's the crazy times then, but the
right.
funny stuff looking back
Yeah,
now.
kind of looking back now it is, and maybe you took it a little too serious back then. I don't know, but yeah, there's several run-ins like that. I think trying to think who else I had some run-ins like that with. Me and Rudy Branham got into it a few times.
Really?
Nothing like
Yeah.
that, but it seemed like every time me and him were around, we'd hit for a while.
That's a name we hadn't ever brought up much on this show too much, Rudy. And Rudy was a staple at Florence Motor Speedway for a long time.
Oh yeah, that was like a racing rite of passage, racing with Rudy.
That's how we feel with and I ain't throwing him under the bus at all because he's great. He's still out there driving. I think he told me this is last year, but that's like us racing around Mr. Archie Senior. That man is one of the hardest people to pass on the track, and it's great. I love it, but he's one of the hardest people to pass on the track.
I've done my time racing with him too. He is, and it's really cool. I mean, the years of racing he has in. So.
Exactly. Well, what happened with you and Rudy?
Rudy was. I don't remember ever like wanting to fight, but it was just like we were going to hit, and just seemed like every time we raced, we put a tire mark on each other all the time.
Just fine.
But I loved Rudy though. He was always fun to be around, but
y'all raced so many times back then too.
I mean,
Rudy's like it was weekly.
I always used to pick that on him that he was the reason that Charlie hit me with the van. You know, I was like, because we were starting on the front row, and he would jump. He would go and stop. You know, like coming and.
Let's really dig into this because we had a version of this a few weeks ago here, and we need to get we had one side, well, kind of one side of it, but all right, we want to get your side, your complete side of this. So this was at the first of the race.
Oh no! You talking about with the van?
Yeah, with the van.
The van incident.
With the van. Since you brought it up, let's get into this.
All right, we'll go ahead.
This is a topic that has been of great debate.
Okay.
So I was sitting in turn one stands. So I had a great view of it personally.
Well, it started over a restart. It was a few laps in the race, but it was a restart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Rudy Branham jumped to start, and they blame. I don't know, somehow I got penalized for it. And after we were riding around a lap or two under caution, and they were like, "All right, maybe they were debating whether they were going to send me to the back or not, if I remember right." And finally, they were like, "All right, you're going to the back." So I was like, "Well, I'm going to park it then. There's only a few laps. I'm not going to go to the back." And I went to go around Charlie, and he swerved. I don't know if he was taking a swerve to stop me, or I don't know. He never told me. We put it behind us and moved on, but he like hit the back of my car, and you know the story grew to like we wiped the van and the car out. It was a dent on the back bumper and quarter. It wasn't total, but.
I think you got a better end of it. Actually, you blew the tire out on the van.
Yeah, I think the van got the van actually had us a pretty big dent in it and stuff.
Wow, he must have got you for real.
I think it caught the back bumper bar or something.
Did.
But
that's exactly what it did.
So
Savari van.
Charlie never told me why he did it. I think we just kind of like, all right, let's move on from this.
All right, I'm
took a
gonna
little break.
share my view from the stands.
So
And I think I had kind of a helicopter view of this. When I was sitting there, I remember them going around, and that start happened, like you said, restart, and all of a sudden they're pacing a couple laps, and for some reason they brought out a red flag, but it was for some other reason. It wasn't for you necessarily being out there. And I think under that red flag is when they finally told you you're going to have to drop to the back.
Yeah, I think originally they were going to send us both to the back.
Yes.
Then they were going to let him stay up there and me go to the back. And so I went back up there because he wasn't going to the back. I wasn't going to the back.
Exactly.
So we rode around like that.
And all I saw, and I'm looking at the cars, they're literally right in front of me. And by the time they said over the intercom, I remember them saying it, Jamie Lee's going to have to go to the back of the field. And about the time they said that, I guess they told you that.
Yeah.
And it looked like he just went to go around. Like either I didn't know if he was going to go in or just go around the field and go to the back since they were stopped. Yeah. That's what it looked like.
I was coming to the pits.
And I kind of figured that's what it was, but that's what it just looked like. And by the time what he did, Mr. Charlie just hangs a right. You could see him looking in the mirror, and he just hangs it right into it. And I looked and I said, I don't think either of that got conveyed to either side.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one of the stranger things that's happened, definitely.
It was definitely strange.
I think you took a little break from Florence after that, didn't you?
Yeah, I think you can wear your welcome out somewhere, and I kind of felt I'd done that because we were winning a lot of races over there, so I kind of was like, all right, let's.
Well, and that's what I was going to say, and I'm not trying to knock him by no means, but we all know, and we talked about it with Robert on here a few weeks ago. When Charlie took over that track, Charlie just had his ways about him. Even when he ran Sumter, I mean, and his ways were a little bit different than a lot of the other
and
tracks.
he could be hard headed, and we could too.
Oh yeah.
But eventually we made up, went back, and I mean he I will say he's always been good to me. And when Connor came along, he was very good to Connor. Very excited for him. I mean, come practice. What can I do to help? I mean,
He gave us the first set of mini stock tires.
Yeah, he was always real good to Connor, and I mean, so I will say we ended on a good note. I'm glad we didn't let that keep us apart. So
I know that was probably one of the maddest I ever seen your dad that
Yeah,
night
he
from
was.
the stands.
he was.
I mean, he always. Every time I was around, he always seemed like the cool one out of the bunch, whether he was or not. I mean, that's just how it come
as
across.
he got older, he was.
That's what I'm saying.
In his prime, he was he was a little. He'd have been right in the middle of it.
But that was probably the most mad I've ever seen him. He jumped off the back of that trailer. I thought he was coming for somebody.
Yeah.
No, but after that, okay, you kind of left Florence for quite a while, as far as racing at Florence.
Yeah.
What'd you do after that?
What year would that have been? I'm trying.
That had to be
Maybe. Actually, I think
That's before the Good Myrtle Beach years, isn't it?
no, it
No,
was after
that
that.
was
I
after.
actually it might have been about the time I went down back to the beach and
know.
drove a little bit for
Yeah.
Hoyt Brinson
Okay.
part of a year.
I had my placement of that story all wrong then. I thought that was before the
No, I
2005.
want to say
No,
that was
that
close
was-
to like.
I mean,
That would have been
Yeah.
That would have been
nine,
That was before the-
six,
8 or
seven,
9 somewhere
in
there.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, I went back to the beach, drove a little bit for Hoyt, took my own car down there a few times. I'm trying to think. I might have just jumped around down there a little bit
Did you?
for a few years. Yeah,
Did you like the beach?
yeah. Look,
Well, in that case, you skipped right over the.
Yeah, we skipped over a
16
bunch there.
win
He
season.
just brought it up, so I had to. I had to go with it. Well, he just brought it up, so
Yeah.
we had to go with
yeah,
it.
that was a little. That was after all that. Ran the beach every week from 2000 to 2005.
All right, so Run the Beach 2000, 2005. You loved it down there. You said you liked the track.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your time down there and how that went.
Yeah. The beach started out tough. It was a tough place for me to get a hold of. I could qualify good, run good for a little while. Usually faded late in the race, and that kind of described my first year or two there. And
Here comes Jackson. He won't talk on the microphone. There's Robert. Speaking of Robert, he's hanging out with us on here tonight. Hey, Robert.
Robert. By a few years into it, we would win a race here and there. Maybe one or two a year. And by end of 2004 rolls around, right at the end of the season, we hit on something and win the last race. Start out the 2005 season, and it's just an amazing year.
Let's we got a call on the phone here. I think somebody wants to say something to you. Hold on one second here. Let's let's get it on here. There we go. I think we got it now. Can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
There we go. Mr. Robert
How
Powell.
y'all
What's
doing?
going on, buddy?
Hey,
What's
buddy,
up, Robert?
Jamie, don't forget to tell them that year that you won all them races made me retire from Myrtle Beach.
No, man, no, you did. You were still around.
We're getting into it, man. We
I got fired.
Hey, I thought I had done something, man. I was finally outrunning you for a year. I mean, you like had so many years to outrun me. So that was, give me that year, man.
Hey, you earned every bit of it. I can tell you that. I couldn't do nothing with work myself slap out of racing.
That's why I want to ask you real quick, Robert. Why we got you on the phone here, buddy? I said myself watching Jamie, I always thought he was one of the smoothest drivers out there. What was your experience racing around Jamie?
Jamie was he was always just so smooth and calm, and I couldn't rattle him too much. Everybody else I'd make mad at me.
Robert, do you remember I think it was the 99 year, and I was was doing really good in Florence, winning a bunch of races, and we kind of, I think you were driving Nathan's car at the beach, and we had a little dust up in Florence, and it was kind of like, all right, you can stay here and run, and I'll run the beach, and we'll kind of separate for a while.
That's right. That's the
It's
truth.
kind of like you
That
go
is the
there, I'll
truth.
go here, and stay out of each other's hair a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't want to take y'all's time. I just called to tell you that Jamie, keep your boy going. He's doing good.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
proud of him. I wish I could help y'all more. I wish there was something I could do to, but you know the situation that y'all are fighting at Florence. And
Well,
I don't know how it is at Dillon yet, but anyway, maybe it's going to get better for us all. You know.
I appreciate it. We're having a good time doing it, and I will say, you know, I raced a lot of guys in this area and a lot of years in late models, and I mean, Robert was one of the toughest. I mean, if you could outrun him, you've done something, and so I will say that he was.
Yeah.
he
I
was-
had a lot of respect for Jamie's driving. Whenever I had started racing around and I was driving Nathan Howe's car and Ronnie Howe some, and I'd always say, you know, if I can't be there, just go get Jamie to drive. And I think Jamie filled in for a couple of rides that I had a couple of times. Did you, Jamie?
yeah, I did.
I did. Yeah. But anyway, I don't want to keep y'all. Y'all enjoy it tonight. I'm listening, and I think you're doing a great job, David. I mean, it's awesome, and maybe I can get back on there sometime and come share some time with y'all. Okay.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Good to hear
Jamie,
from you, Robert.
Jamie, tell him the truth about my dad. Now, don't tell him he spun you out, but he didn't mean he wasn't a bad guy.
No, absolutely.
not at
I was real clear that he was really good to me. I was that was probably I don't know where that came from. It kind of I don't let that dampen it. I think he was always real good to me. He's been real good to Connor, and I miss him.
It come from you winning all the time over there. He didn't like nobody that won all the time.
It was stinking up the show.
That's what I
it
said.
was.
Maybe I'd wore my welcome out. You know, sometimes maybe you need to take a break from it.
Yes, sir. He said you slow down or I'm gonna slow you down.
Exactly.
He would tell me.
All right, Robert. We appreciate you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Y'all be good. And good job, guys. Tell Connor you stay with it, buddy.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
All right?
You got it.
Y'all be good.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Figure somebody want to talk to you there, Jamie.
It's good to hear from
You've
you.
had to only call in on our show so far.
Good thing I wasn't talking bad about it, right?
No, I mean, and that's the thing is we all know in this industry, that's the funny part about racing is, you know, football, baseball, everybody knows they're going out there just to try to beat each other constantly. And we know we're going out there to beat each other, but
Oh yeah.
I guess racing, there seems to be a little more money involved. And I think that's what it boils down to a lot of
Yeah.
times is not just your winnings. We all know we all had to go back and work on cars and
Right.
stuff like that. And so that's where, you know, and there's plenty of pride too. A lot of it.
It
So,
was fierce competition. I'm not gonna lie. There was I mean, Myrtle Beach had some, and Timminsville too. You know, there were some good drivers out there. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure. But that's what
Todd Kelly got to race with him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was great. Robert, Charles, Sean. I mean, yeah, there's a long list. I'm leaving a lot of people off, but
that's what I was fixing to say. That's some names right there. I mean, that's a good race right there. I want to see
yeah.
that race.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. There was. That's
Do like they did the NASCAR Legends where they put them on the
Let's do it.
Legends Oval that
Let's do it.
time.
That's exactly what we need to do. I think Robert might have a little up on y'all right now. He's had the most recent ride, I guess.
yeah.
So, but anyway, let's get back to your time down at the beach when you went on a little tear there for a little while.
Yeah, we had a real good year. I don't know. We just hit on it with car, motor. I mean, it was just one of those years where you couldn't really do anything wrong. And had it not been for a couple things go awry in the tech shed, you know, we might would have had a regional championship or something. We were that good. I mean, I felt like we could take on just about anybody that came in. So it was a great year. I mean, it's probably the best year of my career.
And that was how many wins?
15.
15 wins.
Those were 100-lap races
Yeah.
too, weren't
Oh
they?
yeah.
Well, they were 75
of
to 100 most of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe most weeks were 75,
I remember those, and I always.
which was you know, it felt like a long
that was
race
a long
there.
race at Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know what it was about that track.
So-
It wasn't that much bigger than
But
Florence, but it
it would
just
seem like like the
Exactly.
field would get strung out and you would just drive and drive and drive.
exactly. But all right, well, you just said tick shed.
Yeah.
What happened? we like a good story on
Let's
here.
see. Got thrown out on heads one time. Made up all the points from that and got thrown out again. Motor tore all the way to the crank. Everything was good. And they come up and said the bell housing had the bottom cut out of it. So they tossed me on
wow.
that. And I took that real hard. I quit going to the beach after that year, and then for a year or so.
You just got caught stinking up everybody's show. That's all that happened.
I mean, I honestly believe they were just tired of it down there. But
on the heads. All right.
Yeah.
On the heads. You remember what he got thrown out for? Exactly on the heads?
this was during the time when the late model stock, the heads were, that's kind of where your power was.
Yeah.
And all it took was for, I don't want to say it was a non-issue, but all it took was for somebody to say, you know, they don't look right. They don't,
I got you.
you know, we got this old casting here and they don't look like that. And
I got you.
so it was, I mean, I put another set on and, you know, the motor was just as good as it was. So it was an appearance thing, you know.
That's what I was going to say. We've reached the statute of limitations here,
Yeah,
James.
it wasn't like, you know,
was it anything egregious?
no,
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
don't think so. And I didn't feel a difference when we changed it. Actually,
I like
ran
the
just as
good. I like the good. Yeah, we did it. They called us stories.
Yeah.
but
And I
ain't
mean,
even
I
that.
wish there
Ain't even
was- I-
that.
I'm sure anybody in the field you could have.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I thought
well,
that-
actually, we kind of dug our own hole that year. Frank Denny showed up and outrun us one night, and we protested his head. And that's one of the few cars I remember my dad ever protest. I don't think that may be the only one that I can think of. And it was kind of a dig at them, and they ended up having to throw his head out because his were worse than mine. So, so that didn't sit well because he came in and outran us, and that was kind of what they were wanting was a new winner. And so we tore him down, and they had to throw him out. So he was mad. I feel the track was a little mad about that, but
You won the track championship though that year?
no, I didn't.
No, you didn't. You had that many wins and didn't win the track championship.
No, I got thrown out 2 races. I think Brent Brinson won it that year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
What kind of point system was y'all running?
that's what I was saying earlier. I feel like y'all raced a lot,
Yeah.
like every
I,
week, like
Oh, yeah.
not
There wasn't no-
twice a month like we do now. Like
Uh,
You know, that was, I think it was scored 50 points for a win. That was minus 100 points right there. So I think we made a lot of it up, but weren't able to win it.
wow. Well, I remember you talk about a lot of racing. I remember, what was it? There was a time that Florence ran on Friday nights and then
Yeah.
and Beach ran on Saturdays, and a lot of people
Yeah.
rainbow
ran
every
both.
week.
Yeah. I
remember y'all doing
I never
it,
did.
so-
I did Florence on Friday night and the trucks on Saturday night
Yeah.
for a few years, and that was tough.
Yeah.
That was tough.
a lot of racing.
But
How'd you like the trucks?
I enjoyed it. Like I said, for a couple of years there, we had a tough group of truck drivers.
Oh, yes.
You did it twice, didn't you? You had two different stints in the truck.
Well, when the trucks came back as like, I think they just ran Florence and Myrtle Beach, and I got back in it for a few years there. That might, I remember you asked me what I did for a few years there. I think I did have a truck again that I ran a little bit in Florence.
I remember that. Yep, that's right.
Yeah, I did.
That's
I
right.
did that a little bit, but yeah, did the traveling one. Actually, Charlie Powell's one headed that up.
Yep.
Started that. It was real good series.
Out of all the tracks you went to with that, and what was probably one of your favorite tracks? I know Beach got to be one of them. Any races you went out
I
there?
enjoyed the beach. I enjoyed Caraway.
Did you?
Had a real good run. Just showed up for one of them at Caraway, and we ran second. And felt like I had a real good shot at winning it. Probably Caraway is probably one of my favorite ones on it. Enjoyed Somerville. Got where Somerville was probably one of my most consistent tracks.
I'm just letting you know everything you said on there. Pete has corrected you. Flywheel was cut on the flywheel cut. Oh, fly cut on the valve seat. That's what it was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was their big thing.
And
was
then he
how
said
the
Greg
valves
Hardy
cut.
won that one the championship. I
I
think.
don't know. Maybe he's right. I'll have to look that one up. Greg was running good that year. Very possible. I'm going
Pete's
off.
our statistician.
I'm going off of memory. I'm going off of memory, and it's getting worse every year. So
It all runs together.
yeah,
Oh, well, real quick, guys, while we still got Jamie here and keep on rolling with him, why don't you go ahead and thank some of our great sponsors for this show. SRI Performance, guys, they are, I would say they're your one-stop shop for all things racing. And I know you went up there been what, about a year ago now, probably. Well,
No,
first of the year.
earlier this year.
First of the year. What'd you think about that?
That
there.
was my first trip. Me and Dad used to go all the time.
Yeah.
He liked to dig through all the parts bins. No, awesome place, man. Great day. Yeah.
That's what I love about
a
it.
racer's warehouse.
Yeah,
I mean, just
That's what I say.
kind of
too.
like Bass Pro Shops for racers.
Exactly, and that's what I try to tell everybody.
Yeah.
You talk about digging through them bins, man. That's what I cannot express to these people enough. I love the used part side over there
Yeah,
because what is used, most time it isn't really used.
Yeah.
I mean, it might have got. I have seen stuff in there that the Cup guys put on a car.
right.
You could tell they put it on there. Apparently, didn't like something in their mock-ups or whatever. Took it back off, and that's where it
Oh,
went.
yeah, yeah. So many
Brand
pieces
new
like that.
stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it is the best ever for anybody needing anything for a race car. And I don't care what kind of race car you need it for. I promise you can find something in there. So guys, head over to SRI Performance if you want to look it up online. They got an eBay store for all their used parts, a lot of their used parts anyway. Head over there, check out their eBay store, but also go online to www.sriperformance.com. Fill up your cart. As always, guys, put in that promo code CBONE, Tennessee is in
Chicken.
BONE 10. Get yourself 10% off time checkout. See, now you remember it. Same thing over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, guys. Head over there. I know you guys want to make some of these dirt car stuff look pretty and stuff, and I'm gonna tell you what, from over at Sumter this past Saturday night, I'll have to talk about that in a little while. They're going to have to find some of the sheet metal over there because they're going to have to find some of that painted aluminum sheets that they got over at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. But they got everything. I don't care if you rebuilding the whole car from scratch, all your roll bar tubing, everything you need. Head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. They can hook you up on it. All right, Jamie. Well, so run trucks some. All right. You come back, Florence, wherever, you got back in the car after that stint of kind of being out or in the truck or, a little stint. What was your comeback like?
Let's see. That was probably when I was racing on a limited schedule because racing every other weekend at the most because of my job. Pretty good. Won a few races, not like before. It's kind of, you can tell it's getting a little tough because, when you're not there every week,
Oh, yeah.
no matter how good you are, you do get behind. So kind of felt good. Won a few races each year. Actually, the last year we ran was probably won. What I say, we won 3 races that year, right?
About 2020.
Yeah, that's probably my last year running a good many races. And since then, done a few Legends races.
Time to get back out there with us.
gotta-
Make us look bad.
Yeah, picked up a couple wins. I never won a race in Dillon. Finally won a race in Dillon with a Legends car, so I'm counting it.
They still don't have a full body car when at Dillon.
I do
which is
not.
something I got, and he don't.
Yeah,
I guess
he does have a. He
I
does.
think we need to get him back in a car for a race.
we will.
I really think he
there
does.
are
I
there
still
are
have a car that I call my car. So
I know. And that's what I.
yeah, there's
I hadn't hung the helmet up.
there's elongated plans to make that happen. I guess.
Well, Connor, if you quit tearing up motors and stuff.
I know.
Love to.
I work on his car all the time. Don't work on mine.
Well, that's what I was about to get to. Is all right. So now you as you said, you're Connor's crew chief now. I mean, that's your role.
I give
at the track.
that's Pete Holtz's role.
Co-crew chief, okay? It's not-
I'll be car owner, man.
there you go, just car owner,
I'll
whatever it is.
Assume that role.
So, how is it now? After doing all that you've done in the car, and for years you've done it, and now it's changed, and you're helping your son do
Yeah,
it. And
it's-
is it as satisfying or more?
It
or-
is. And I mean, when he wins a race, I'm as excited as if I'd won a race. I do miss drive. I mean, I still love it. I'm not going to say I don't want to get back in and drive. But seeing him win is a big deal. I mean, I get the same thrill and same high from that. So
Have y'all raced against each other in any way yet?
Legend cars a couple times.
have
Yeah.
Legends cars,
I've run second to him twice.
That's
in
what I think.
Legend cars.
Beat you every time.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. I mean, and it's been close too. It's not. It's been within a car length or two at the finish line every time. And so, but The legend car's got a
One
lot
night we
better.
had a
since-
bunch of it, and
yeah.
I got
That's what I
around him
was
right
fixing
there
to
at the end.
I don't think he could do it now. I think I've surpassed him in legend
Ooh.
skill.
Yeah, he thinks he's,
I feel some confidence
Well, I mean,
over here.
and he might be. Now,
He jumped in and was a legend man. That one of those first years we were over in Florence and we were all just out there making some laps. He finally jumped in one, and I don't know. It was probably very slow to what we run now, but it was like wow.
He's
That-
downplaying it bad.
I mean, it was like
Dennis
whoa,
Brown.
picked it up a little bit.
Dennis Brown, we got to make this happen. We got to put him back in. We got to put Jamie back in one. We got to see.
I don't
what
know
can
that I can
happen now.
outrun him now. I'm not gonna brag and say I can.
I ain't gonna say you can, but we got to. He's done thrown out the challenge over here
Yes.
pretty much. So
He's challenged me to that and car race. So he's feeling pretty big.
that's what I was fixing to ask. So I know you said you hadn't hung up the helmet by no means, and you got a car that you still call your
Right.
car. I know there's been plans for it, but has there been any more thought put into it?
It's gonna. I'm not gonna put a date on when it happens. Maybe next year. I don't know that it'll happen this year.
Yeah, we ain't got much left.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's why I said maybe next year.
What
Maybe
kind of car is it?
The hit car I have. It's a Hedgecock car. It's the last car I ran in Florence a little bit.
And won races with
Yeah, he won.
Won once with that.
He won
once.
two twice with that one.
Yeah,
twice.
used his car
Yeah.
most of the years I was in Florence lately.
That's what I was fixing to say. That car that he's driving now, that was one of your old cars,
that
right?
that was my car that Ronnie Howell built.
What year was that car built?
What year? 2007,
Okay.
something like that. I think
It's
that's
still a
right.
fast car.
Yeah, I think
still
so.
a
I think that's right on the year. 07, 08, something like that.
Connor, we got a Braves update.
Yeah, I was looking at my phone a minute ago. It was 1-0, so they must have.
Now it's 3-0.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to look at it.
Don't give us bad updates.
Yeah.
Race season going bad, man.
It's all downhill from there.
It's the Atlanta playoffs choke. It's got to happen.
So we want to get this car back together. I want to see
It needs
this
a
happen.
guy to put a motor in it. That's all it needs.
Well, like I said, if Connor quit tearing them up,
Well, I'd love to have two motors to run. You know,
Connor said he needs a backup every once in a
we're
while.
gonna make it. We're gonna make it happen soon.
Well, I want to see it. I will be there just to crew that day. I'm working on Jamie's car, and you and Pete sit over there. Oh,
Whatever happens, please don't let him outrun me that day because I'll never hear the end of it.
I ain't saying I was crew chief. I just said I'm working on it. You- nah, this is.
I think you'd see him race the hardest races ever raced.
that's every race. That's every race.
Happened to be in front of him.
Well, I think he would too. He'd drive as hard, but I'm gonna tell you, I don't know this. Last time at Dillon, I don't think I could ever see him drive any harder. That thing was just out the corner like this every time. I'm like, go ahead, Connor. He getting all he can get. But so what's that like for you, Connor? I want to know what is having your dad still not just being in there and telling you what he can do, but he can still get in the car and do it.
Hey, I mean, it is good. I mean, it is. He tells me a lot of stuff. Recent experience can help you with. Most people I'm racing with, he's raced with. I mean, a vast majority of them at least. So it's good. I enjoy it. I hope we can get back to bringing two cars to the track again and see what we can do. But yeah, we kind of gotta.
We had
we need to gauge
there
ourselves.
where we were taking. He actually went through the mini stocks. He had a mini stock and I had my late model, and we were doing two cars back then.
Yeah,
too.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when y'all were doing that. I remember one day, you had the mini stock and you were driving a Legend over at Dillon, and
Yeah.
I was like, wow, go ahead, Connor. He's like to drive.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
Apparently.
He likes to drive.
He's still young. He's still young. Oh, awesome. So y'all heard there's plans for Jamie to get back in the car. He ain't quit yet. He ain't quit yet. So, Jamie, now, you working with your son as your dad did with you. You coming from a little different background as far as actually being a driver. What is it that, and I know y'all are out there trying y'all's hardest every race, but what is it that you want for your son out there?
Good question. I want him to enjoy it. take it as far as he wants to. I mean, I know it's an expensive sport. I mean, I'm not going to be able to, take him but so far. And I enjoy the time together. I mean, other than that, I mean, just the time together. Like to see him get, be successful at it. You do put a lot of work into it. You want him to get some wins, and but the time together and all that, I think that's what I enjoy most.
I really,
because I mean, he could be, you could be doing other things. You might not see him on the weekend if he was out hanging out with friends. I mean, so we spend a lot of time together.
That's right.
So a lot of benefits of it.
I feel like, I raced go-karts for years, and I'm going to tell you, go-karts that was a cutthroat racing sport there. I mean, it was rough. You went to the track, you didn't hardly talk to many people. You just went to the track and you worked on your stuff and you got out there, you raced and didn't do nothing. I feel like I have just, I was around racing and, y'all racing and everything, but now actually being down there in it, the more I am, I'm like, man, y'all have fun down here. I mean, it's ultra competitive. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of times you realize you're racing yourself almost more than you're racing anybody else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We just always seem to have a lot of fun out there.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of,
there were a lot of years where maybe it wasn't as fun. Maybe you were working a little. Don't want to say working too hard. Maybe it was just stressing you out and working, because I mean it'll work you to death, and it's a stressful sport. It can be
very.
Sometimes
very.
you can everything right that you think you're supposed to, and still not run good sometimes. And
preaching to the choir.
Yeah, I mean, there's ups and downs of it. So just when you do get to have those ups and get some wins and good finishes, I highly encourage you to enjoy them, because you don't know when they'll be back around.
That's right.
So, and I enjoy going to the track a lot more, and even the legend stuff. I've enjoyed that, like hanging out with all those guys, Dennis and all the guys, Rafe Judd, Barry Martin, all those guys. Just enjoy it, have a good time.
For sure.
Made it fun.
Dennis actually just texted me. He said he's the one that's hard on Connor. 100+ trophies.
Hey, speaking of Dennis would, if he were here, he would probably tell you racing, if it's not fun, you're not doing it.
Oh, he's all about that.
Well, it's about if you win.
Have fun doing it. So,
and it is.
We love it. We love it for sure. But we also love all our help on here.
Oh, yeah.
Good segue. All our friends are ProFab headers and exhaust guys. Man, I'm gonna tell you, best in the market. If you were in the market for a set of headers for your race car, head over to ProFab headers and exhaust guys. I don't care what you running. If you're running crate stuff, you're running dirt, asphalt, whatever you got. They got the combinations you need for headers and your exhaust there. So you head over to ProFab headers and exhaust. Not only are they great looking, great sounding, they are quality that wins. That is what their slogan is, and there's a reason behind it. When you see a NASCAR Cup race, when you see a IndyCar race, when you see NHRA out there, there's cars on the track with ProFab headers and exhaust. ProFabrication guys, y'all head over there, tell them we sent you, and one of the places you'll find a lot of ProFab headers on, because he recommends all of them, it's Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. I'm gonna tell you, I went over to Sumter this past week. I'll tell you how good a crate program he's got, crate motor program. Carolina Clash was in town.
Mm-hmm.
Earl Ramey Racing Engine, crate motor, 604 crate motor, racing against super motors, qualified 13th. I'm telling you, it's a strong crate motor.
Yeah.
Strong crate motor. Just saying. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines, get you some time on that chassis dyno that he's got over there. That's where you can find a lot of speed at, a lot of horsepower. You can find what's dragging your horsepower down in your car, because a lot of times there's auxiliaries out there, we'll call it, that can drag power out of your car, and you can find that on that chassis dyno. So y'all head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines, tell them we sent you. All right. Well, Jamie, I appreciate you coming on here and telling us that whole story. So we're gonna sit here with you and go through all the rest of it and get your opinions on all this stuff tonight. But that's been a lot of fun. A lot of I know a lot of memories for you because a lot
yeah.
for me too. Just thinking back about it, and remember sitting up in them stands many nights, watching that 18 out front.
Yeah, we've been at it a while now.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, I just talked about it. Went over to Sumter Speedway, the craziest little dirt track around here.
I tell you, from the video you posted, you better had some glasses or something on.
I did not.
Really, you look like you're about
Great.
row 2.
I wasn't. I was almost to the top.
He's
Actually,
a real dirt fan. He doesn't-
Really?
you need to go to Sumter with me. You need to go to Sumter with me. I was. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you how Sumter is. I love Sumter's track. I actually drove a street stock over there one night, years and years and years ago. Only practiced it. First, but I tell you how committed I was. Second lap out there, I run the right rear down the wall, the whole front straightaway.
Wow.
I was on it. I said, I am going. And I kept telling the guy that owned the car, I was like, man, this thing's pushing though. I was like, I get in the corner and all of a sudden it just front end just washes up the track. It's like, you ain't driving it. I said, dude, I'm dead in the gas. I haven't touched the brake the whole time I was out there. Well, we found out the right front brake was almost locked up. So I was like, yeah, that's why I was pushing. I think I'd have been just fine had it not been for that. But that is a tight track for late models over there. You've been over Sumter back
It's
in
been
the day.
years,
Yes.
but yeah,
and it was probably even smaller
it
then.
might have been. I haven't been in a long time.
They've widened it out a little bit. But Carolina Clash was in town, super late models over there. It took our buddy Matt Pridgeon and James Murphy, both in the race. I told them I was not going back to watch them anymore. They qualified all right, being both of them had crate motors in their cars running against supers out there with just stupid horsepower. James qualified 13th. Matt qualified 13th. James a couple of positions behind him. And so they were doing really good because earlier in the day, way dirt track really works, if you got big horsepower, that's great when the track's tacky and got plenty of bite in it, because completely backwards from ours. We want it dried out as much as we can. They want it a little bit on the wet side. But it slicked off just a little bit, and Matt was actually coming on top. But they had about 3 starts there at the first of the race, and they just kept spinning cars out, piling cars up. Ended up Matt and James got in a wreck with each other.
Oh, no.
So I went down in the pits afterwards. I told him, I said, I am not coming back to watch y'all anymore. Just because y'all do that on iRacing don't mean y'all can do that out here.
Boy.
So it was tough. But anyway, Adam Yarborough ended up winning over there. That was it was a good race once it started. But speaking of, though, I will tell this one thing. Matt got out, but something happened in one of them. He said he think it might have been a spindle. I don't know. His car got really tight, really just pushing. You could tell he just had wheel just locked over. And leaders were coming up about to lap him, which they're turning 14-second laps around there. So I mean, just quick laps. So I mean, it don't take much.
Yeah.
There was a lap car kind of in front of him. Well, all of a sudden that dude just got sideways, and he slid sideways, and I think he kind of hit him, but they stopped right dead in front of leaders. Leaders spun out, hit him. One guy ramped over his hood.
Wow.
Yeah, it was. It was
Wild night on
It was
dirt.
a wild night. Well, yeah, a little bit. Then they straightened out. Like I said, Adam Yarborough won it, so congratulations to him. But yeah, it's the first time I think it's the first time I've been to a dirt track all year, actually.
Yeah.
And we've been at the track so much. I just hadn't-
We're finding a week to goes.
yeah. So
Me and Connor made a trip to Lakeview earlier
Think
this
so,
year.
y'all?
That was my first dirt race in years.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna have to go back there here at the end of this month. Actually, we got the Nostalgia Dirt Series coming in, and we're actually gonna have some guys on the show from there here in a couple weeks, and might be doing some stuff over at Lakeview here in a few weeks. So that's always a fun track. But I was gonna tell you about the supers over there. I timed it. They were literally on the straightaways for about a second and 3/4. Rest
like-
of it's in turns.
Wow. Kind of like little Wake County for us.
Exactly.
Hmm.
They widened the corners out years and years ago a little bit, and they're in the corner a whole lot longer than they are on the straightaway. Spent a total of almost 4 seconds on straightaway. The rest of it's corner. So that was yeah. So anyway, good racing over there. All right. So we need to go back to our iRacing. You watched any of our iRacing?
I did.
Jamie?
I watched one couple races ago, I guess.
You
I
watched the
remember.
Street Stocks at Atlanta.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah, I did.
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was. I check in on it sometimes. I watch it at work sometimes on a slow work night.
There you go.
You know.
There you go. All right. Well, this past week we had our last doubleheader for the season. We had the 410 sprints at Eldora, along with the Pro 2 trucks on the Legends Oval at Charlotte, which was our that was my
That was our filling race.
that was my fill-in race. I was the only one that didn't vote on the whole year, and I kind of threw it in there. So we talked about what happened. The Atlanta race had some issues,
Right.
iRacing issues. A
about
lot of
that.
people dropped out due to an iRacing issue. So we felt like it'd be the most fair with as many people who dropped out to let's add in another race, but let's give everybody a second drop race. Felt like that was most fair. They voted on it, unanimous. Everybody was for it. It's great, cool. So ran the 410 sprints. How was your night there, Connor?
I actually did a lot better than I thought I would.
You was up there.
Got it.
I thought
7th or something, which was I enjoyed it. I mean, I really that
practice some any.
I did a little bit, yeah. I mean, but I've kind of ran it before. That's actually, it's weird. It shouldn't be, but it's one of the. It's not easier cars to drive. I guess it's kind of easy to drive, just hard to really push it. You know, because it does have a lot of grip through the corner.
Oh yeah.
So much downforce, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was really. I mean, we struggle with caution sometimes, but I felt that. I mean, the racing was pretty cool. I mean, I was, you know, there was a high side where you didn't have to run right up against the wall to still get a pretty good run off the high side,
Yeah.
which was good for me.
Short race. So
Yeah, it was a very short race, but I thought it was pretty fun.
we I figured we were gonna have cautions in that one.
Yeah,
Good bit, and there was a couple back to back, but we really utilized the single file restart this time, and that I think that helped us
oh yeah, you can get spread out.
a lot more because we were just trying to double file and it was not working.
Not for
It
us.
was not working.
Not
at
for us,
all.
and in cars that can't touch.
Devin Morgan won the sprint car race. Our team Chicken Bone Alley driver. Then we moved on to the Pro 2 trucks at the Legends Oval at Charlotte. That everybody kind of were like, oh, that's I don't think that's gonna be good. Don't think that's gonna be. There was a lot of non-excitement about it. So I threw up a practice race. What was it, like Thursday before?
yeah, something.
Yeah. And everybody got in it, and me and Connor ran up front there for a little while, and you and Landon ran up front for a little while, and after that, everybody was like, all right, well, this is pretty good. It's pretty good.
It's like, I mean, I felt like I liked it because it had such big braking zones and all. It was
Exactly.
like extra,
And you couldn't just
short track car in real life.
right.
Would've-
You couldn't just stand in the
Yeah.
gas. You really had to ease it to it. So Connor qualified on pole.
Oh yeah, I was like
I know
hit a banger of a lap in qualifying.
You did.
Yeah, it
You
was like
did.
a tenth and a half, or like a tenth faster than
I was like,
almost
"Damn,
everybody.
go ahead. Go ahead. What you think about the race? You led the majority of it.
Yeah, it was. I wish I thought it was fun. Obviously, it was a little rough, but not as bad as it could have been, I guess. But I enjoyed it. It's a good.
Had a few end up on her lid.
That's
Hey,
kind of
you
comes with
just-
it.
those don't cost.
Oh
money
yeah,
to
that's
break
what I
down.
told him. I said you just hit reset.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah,
Oh well.
that's the kind of race that plays perfectly into my favor. It's just like I was 2 tires in the turf, just on the bottom, get it pointed and go. It's not no don't have to arc it in and try to get it to rotate.
It's like driving at Dillon.
yeah, it's
You
just
get down there and you
point and go.
hit the line down there, and then
Yeah,
you
it
go.
felt like you get. So I felt really, had like I had good pace and all. Eventually, Devin was on me about 2 car lengths to 3 car lengths. He did grow and shrink, and he was kind of pressuring me. And eventually, I just overshot 3, just ever so slightly, and he was
Stuck it in there.
yeah. I mean, it was right there, and then I kind of tried to slam the door on him, but he got around me, and he was so good. I mean, it's like he found the perfect balance of right where the tire would spin, but not lose speed, and this star control was insane. So I couldn't mess with him after that. He was
That dude's
so
good.
it's crazy how good he is. But I hated not to win, but I was pretty proud of myself to actually lead some most laps and race with Devin a little bit. So I enjoyed it. It was good for me at least.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Second place. Hey?
Yeah.
And in all actuality, the field of drivers we have, you run top 5 in it. I mean, you're running pretty good
For sure.
for iRacing standards.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are good. Landon, he's super good on there. Like I said, Devin, John, Matt, James, all of them guys are insanely good at this. That's why I'm glad I didn't race. I'd have looked horrible. I love iRacing, but I have this love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah,
I think
I fully understand that.
I think so. You have you been on it much?
He plays around.
I do some. I can't feel the car always jumps out from under me before I even realize it's spinning, and I just cannot. I can't overcome it. I don't know if I don't do it enough or what.
Has he
but
tried the new late model stock?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
tried him.
Yeah.
The new-
That's the main thing.
I have tried it, but
The
like when I
F1
try to go fast, it's just like all of a sudden it spins out, and I'm like, I didn't even feel it get loose.
You really learn, and I heard TJ Majors talking about this one day. Being, he came from driving and then being really good on iRacing.
Right.
You have to learn that loose isn't in the seat anymore; it's in your eyes.
I guess. Yeah.
And that's
That's
what-
what I don't feel it. I don't feel
Exactly.
it, and I don't know what's happening.
And that was the best explanation I ever heard of it. It was loose isn't in the seat anymore; it's in your eyes.
That's true, baby.
And then now they come out with these, fancy pedals and stuff.
Oh,
now
yeah,
you
you can
feel
feel
the
the
loose
vibrating.
now.
Do you?
Do you have those?
I have a good.
I
set of pedals.
got them. I got them. I ain't gonna even lie. I got them, and it ain't made me.
I do have the load cell. I have the load cell thing.
Yeah, I got a low cell, but I got a vibration and all that stuff. It tells you if you. The one thing I like about it is you really can tell if you lock up the tires.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like if you're locking up the left front or something, you feel a little vibration in your foot. That's
Yeah, I just hadn't,
our-
I hadn't done it enough to get over and learn all that, I guess.
Somebody was talking about it. I think it was Landon was talking about it on there the other day, and they were talking about because we got these. That was a few months ago. We got these iRacing anniversary gifts where you got iRacing credits. People talking about, yeah, I got $3 or I got $4. I'm like, I got 12. I've been on here way too long. I got on there when Richmond was the only track that had lights.
Wow.
There was no dirt, nothing. I mean, Richmond, that was the
Connor
only
kicked
track
me
that
off
had-
so I wouldn't mess up his rating. So,
You drive mine. It won't mess it up anymore, I
You
promise.
can't mess my safety rating up. That's terrible. I don't know. I can't keep a
that,
safety
that
rating.
was always our joke. We were gonna
And
mess
it's
up
usually
his
not
rating.
my fault either. Like I'm
Well-
not even being like that. It's just
Well,
I find trouble.
Speaking of, that used to be, and I went back and actually looked at my graph on it because they show you these graphs on your safety rating stuff. And I went back and looked at mine the other day, and what happened? I can look exactly what time it was. I was doing great. Then COVID happened. When COVID happened, NASCAR all of a sudden jumped on the iRacing bandwagon and all that stuff. Well, they about quadrupled the amount of people that were on iRacing regularly through COVID. And ever since then, you get in a what they call official race, and it's tough.
I'll have a couple.
It's
good
not
races.
as hard racing.
Yeah.
It's people drive like idiots on there.
I'll have a couple good races and build it up, but like one bad race,
Yeah.
it seems like it builds up so much slower than it just
Oh,
takes
yeah.
away. Like it just dumped it the other day. I lost like a whole
Oh,
6/10 of a point
I
in the race.
lost. I think I'm back up to A's now, but I have lost A license. I don't know how many times. Went to B's and had to get back up, and it's terrible, terrible. So, but anyway, as Connor just said, our buddy Devin Morgan swept the night. Team Chicken Bone Alley racing
been a-
against.
Good commanding night for us.
I was fixing to say I need to put it up. We got almost 100-point lead now
Wow.
against Team Bubba's Bout Broke podcast. And so they had a rough night. I ain't gonna lie
It
to
did
you.
look bad.
And I even text Jackson some and
That's your arch rival.
yeah, our arch rival.
I think next year, I think next year we ought to make it like promote it as a battle of the podcast or whatever. Because we basically already have 3.
Well, we do
in there,
now.
you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. And I think we're going to
I feel like we could
expand
get some people that
I feel
jump
like
on
there's
that.
a
you
few
know?
more podcasts that
Yeah,
we
that's what I'm
definitely
saying.
get to jump in there. So we definitely can. And I talked to Jackson some the other day. He's like, "Man, it was a rough night for us." I said, "Yeah, it was." They definitely had a rough night. I mean, it's just one of them things. But anything can happen because this week we got Talladega in the
Indeed.
Cup cars coming up. I've talked to a few people already. Connor, what's your strategy?
Usually I like to hang on to the lead pack and just kind of ride at the tail of the lead pack and just kind of see how it is. If it looks like we're all minding our business, I'll try to make some way up to the front. If not, I'll just stay. I don't want to lose the lead pack ever because I feel like that's not. I don't want to bank solely on a wreck,
Yeah.
but I usually try to ride
All
enough. I can't qualify the super speedway. I don't know. Like I will full throttle as smooth as possible, and they'll be 2/10 faster than me.
Stay dead in the bottom.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. And it's just, I don't know. People have got their ways to get us.
They got their ways. They got their ways. That's right. With knowing our field of drivers this year, you still think that's a great idea? I'm not saying it's not. I'm
Yeah.
just.
I mean, there's some I like to be ahead of for sure.
because
But
we've had our fair share of cautions.
I don't know. Track could still be important though. So I don't know. It'll have to be it'll be a spur of the moment thing. I feel like just kind of see where I start and how everybody's racing or riding. We'll see.
Landon Moody says he's going to be at the tail for sure. But
Might be.
I told him the other night, I think we were all talking about it, and everybody's talking about, I'm going to tail. I said, everybody can't be at the tail.
I don't know.
Everybody can't be at the tail.
When it's broadcasting, I want to be on the broadcast. I don't want to be.
There you
I
go.
want to
There
be
you go.
talked about. I want to be.
Just get out front. And
I want to be.
We got
just-
plenty of long caution laps. I'm probably going to pull you in on some. I was going to do it the other night, but it was like caution laps were like this. I was like, oh, God, never mind. I ain't going to
Say,
mess him up.
Caution lap at Talladega would be fine.
I really didn't want to mess you up where you were leading. So.
Yeah, it'd be fine. I can do that on my own. I don't need help with that.
All right, everybody. So y'all come watch. Check us out on Facebook on Talking Dirt. They're another one of our fellow podcasters, but he also Ryan Williams, who is the announcer at Sumter Speedway. Also, he hosts our races on Talking Dirt on his Facebook page. We'll share it on our page also. But Talladega broadcast should start right about. I think we probably come in about 8:58, something like that. Racing will start at 9:00. 40 laps at Talladega. We're back to our long races.
Hopefully we don't make it too long.
Should, barring cautions, should have to make a pit stop in this race, which is something
honest?
we haven't done this year.
Green flag pit stop, or even just
Whether
a
it
pit
be
stop in general.
just a
Yeah.
pit stop in general. I mean, other than
Just-
repairing
just
damage.
Restrict the fuel to 50%.
Well, 40 laps is actually 100%. It says you can only make. I tested though. They said you could only make typically about 36. So there's 4 laps there.
Hmm.
Can you save that much? Or
I
do you-
can. I don't know if anybody else can.
Well, if you're in the lead, you can't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's almost impossible.
you have to have cautions and
Where you running?
shut it
Cup
off.
cars.
It's Cup cars.
Next gen Cup cars. Yep.
Okay.
But also we had H3 Photography threw in. He's gonna throw in another $20 if you can win it in a throwback scheme.
Oh.
So this is our throwback
Throwback
race.
race, yeah.
So if everybody's ready for it,
Got
Go-
my
go get y'all-
City Chevrolet car ready to roll.
we got Cole Lee over here. So Landon got him a pretty good car going on there. We got some stuff. I think guys come with it. So
Yep.
hopefully so. Make it a fun race, for sure. So yeah, y'all check us out Tuesday night. Racing starts at 9:00. Should be a great race. Hopefully we'll get it all smooth.
Super Speedway
Drafting.
has been our cleanest races. So
I know that's a scary thought. I'm thinking we'll probably be great until last 10 laps.
that's
or so.
okay. I'm
And that's
okay.
okay. I'm okay with
And
that.
we can click off 17 laps or 18 laps to start off with or something.
Yeah, I'm
Great.
okay with that. I am perfectly fine with that. So we'll have a good race on there. And our iRacing series, guys, is brought to you by Fresh Chef. If you are in the Race City area, if you're in Mooresville, up that way, guys, Cornelius, head over to Fresh Chef. Guys, some of the best food you will ever find, just period. I've had shrimp and grits. I've had the ribs. I've had all kind of stuff from there. Man, I'm gonna tell you what,
Sounds good.
it's real good, real good.
Check it
food.
out next time I'm up there.
That's what I was fixing to say. Well, next time you head that way, I'll be heading that way here in a few weeks. I know. So I'm gonna hit it up. That's for sure. So anybody up that way, heading that way, you can stop by SRI to get right down the road. There's a Fresh Chef. So y'all head over to Fresh Chef and tell them we sent you. Tell them thank you for supporting us, supporting our iRacing League and all this fun stuff. All righty. Well, we had some racing this past week. Roval. It was Roval time. Did you what'd you think?
Wasn't bad. I kind of flipped back and forth between that and football games and stuff. It was all right. It was really it was more chaotic this year than it was last year. It felt like.
Speaking of, real quick, before we really get into all the race, schedule came out. 2024 schedule. Connor's already shaking his head.
Missed opportunities, in my opinion.
Well, what you think was a missed opportunity?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I'd like to see. I'm glad Indy's back at the Oval. I don't know why Darlington got taken out of the playoffs. I don't know why Atlanta got put in and Darlington got taken out. That's too many wild cards in the
what
playoffs,
happened
from my
there-
opinion.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. But what happened there was Darlington had to stay on Labor Day.
Agree.
Um,
Yeah, the Olympic
they
break.
had the Olympic break, which had to throw something.
Yeah,
back-
I maybe not would have put Atlanta, I guess.
I
And
wouldn't have
Atlanta, I
either.
think, is good race. I don't want to see it in playoffs. So
No,
I don't
not
like,
when you got
don't like the
Daytona
playoffs
also.
idea. Yeah, Daytona. I don't like the Roval coming back. It's not any worse than any other road course by any means, in my
That's what I was
opinion.
fixing to say.
But I just think the Charlotte Oval has been like one of the best tracks the last 3 years. Why are we not running there? You know, I mean, the next gen car runs good at mile and a half.
Did you check it out, Jamie?
Got to watch a little of it, not a lot of it, but
Did you check out the schedule much?
Oh, the schedule. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the Roval. I've looked it over, kind of like I noticed a few things he said. But all in all, glad to see a few tracks back.
Iowa's back.
Yeah,
so that's-
Iowa back. That was
Iowa
another
would be
big
a
one.
good one.
I forgot about that.
Well, they haven't never run a cup race.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they hadn't
Yeah.
been on the NASCAR schedule.
Yeah.
No, it
I
had
always
to be
thought that.
on-
Yeah, I always thought
It
it
was
was
on
a
our
pretty
cup,
racy place.
it.
No more Bristol dirt. So we knew that, but
We knew that was coming.
Yeah.
I'm not unhappy about not having a cup dirt, but what I am
Yeah.
unhappy about is there's no truck dirt even. They took
Knoxville,
Knoxville,
all's gone.
everything's gone. No dirt at all. NASCAR, no dirt.
Yeah.
ARCA's the only place there's dirt if you go into that level. What I
surprising.
am, yeah, I know.
Because I mean that was kind of the, they wanted in on the dirt action for several years there. So
Yeah,
kind of
and I thought the trucks put on a fairly good show.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they put on a better show at Eldora
that
than
was
they
the best
did.
place. That was
And I think they just got mad with Tony Stewart and that made that
right.
happen. But whatever. Biggest thing, I put it on Facebook even that biggest thing I dislike about the schedule. We're racing on Easter Sunday, and we're racing on Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Why?
yeah.
Richmond on Easter Sunday. Richmond has lights. You could have run Saturday night. I know they're saying Richmond puts on a better show during the daytime now. Okay, whatever. I don't understand why we need to race on Easter Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean,
I agree.
move to a modern market or whatever for TV. Whatever. I mean, And one of the, I mean, I hate to say this, but one of the bigger reasons, yes, I'm not going to go on Easter Sunday because I'm going to be at church. I'm going to spend day with family
Right.
and, all that. That's, that is the main reason I'm against it. But I mean, I would love to go to a Bristol or a Richmond race. If you had it on Saturday night,
Yeah.
who knows? I have done it before.
Yeah.
We've been up there before.
Right.
I was actually at Bristol. Yeah, we were at Hickory. Went to the Easter Bunny, and left super early in the morning, drove straight back to church.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, one of them things.
It is an option when you do that, when you have it that Saturday night
yeah,
instead on
that's
that
what
Sunday.
I'm saying is,
Yeah.
give them the option. I mean, I don't know why we need to do it.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I didn't think there was an overwhelming. They made it look good on TV because they did, they had on at Bristol, who all they have? They have Eric Almirola. I think they had Tim Tebow out there one time. They had Joe Gibbs and
Mm-hmm.
all of them they kind of had a church service out there, which was great. I mean, if you're going, why not do that every
I think
Sunday?
even a lot of the drivers were kind of.
Well, they're not gonna-
They didn't come out and say it, but I think a lot of them would kind of like to had it off too.
Well, I just don't know. I mean, I get NBC has to host, or they're they got the contract to host the Olympics, blah blah blah, whatever. But I'm sorry, I don't feel like the casual NASCAR fan is just your overly ecstatic Olympic fan. I mean, I'll watch the Olympics if it's on
Right.
myself, especially bobsledding. I mean, that's about the only thing I watch because I'm like, hey, it's fast,
It's kind of like a race.
Exactly.
downhill.
It's the closest thing we got. Or either if I ever see them bicycle races, them indoor on the
Yeah.
oval inside, I'm like, them dudes are getting it. But other than that, I'm just not just killing myself to watch the Olympics because half the time, depending on where it's at, if it's across the world somewhere, we're watching a replay anyway. So I just don't understand racing. Easter weekend for sure. I would prefer being off Mother's Day also. And people are like, well, then you got to take off Father's Day. No, you don't. Most of the fathers want to be at the racetrack anyway.
Good point.
So, but I don't know. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's whatever it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, so no dirt, period.
Mhm.
You like it for cup cars, obviously.
Yeah.
You
I
take it or
didn't
leave
think, I
it.
didn't think the Bristol Dirt Race was that bad of a
I
race.
didn't either.
I don't understand the logistics of it really.
The-
But
There's no good
Yeah.
logistics of it.
only,
And I think that was one of the biggest things.
yeah.
because
Also,
no big dirt touring series came back last year,
Oh,
so it was kind of
Cup standalone.
well, there was a crate late model race
Oh, was it?
and a Steel Block Bandits, but not like I said, national touring series came back. So
craziest thing is the first 2 races are super speedways. It's Daytona and Atlanta.
Yes.
That's week 1 and week 2, which is I don't know, crazy. I say take let them run.
we need Rockingham.
Let them run
we
unrestricted.
need Rockingham in there, Jamie.
I said
Remember those days?
Oh yeah.
let them run Atlanta unrestricted.
That was the coldest place you could ever find. I don't know why it was, but
Froze there a few times myself.
Rockingham, the second week of the schedule, was always so cold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why it was, but it was just freezing up there every time. But yeah, I'm like you. It needs something to break that up. I still wish we'd go back to speed weeks. Basically, I know it's not needed anymore, and that's why they don't do it. But I miss all the coverage from down there, from practices, and
Mm-hmm.
then you got qualifying was a day in itself, and I know it's a lot, and they're trying to somewhat save these teams money, but
What do you think of the clash at the Coliseum?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think the crowd was
Yeah.
good out there. I see no purpose in that being there. It's like they're striving for this West Coast market that's just not coming.
Yeah.
I know we lost Fontana this year, but from what I hear, they're still not even working on it. I don't know what's happening to that.
Yeah.
So they were wanting to be in that uh, Southern California market, but I just don't see the glow of it myself. It's just it's not really I guess it's like I feel like they could go to Bowman Gray and produce the same amount of same racing.
Yeah. They already had that track built.
Exactly.
They build that every year.
But their whole thing is, we can fit more people in there. Well, you're not filling it up.
Yeah.
You're nowhere close to filling it up. You'd fill Bowman Gray up, I promise you. I don't know. What you think about it?
It is what it is, I guess. There ain't much I
It is
can do
what
about
it
it.
is. No, we got to voice our opinions, Connor. That's how we get changes. It's like politics. Never mind. I ain't going there. Throwing your phone back there, Jamie. Oh, so anyway, we had some Roval racing. We had the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series there. Who won the Xfinity Series? And I watched the end.
Didn't
of
get
it.
to watch it.
I watched the end of it, and
I
still,
feel like I don't know. I think I
I'm
watched.
pulling this up, guys.
Was it
I
Mayer?
should
Sam
have all
Mayer.
this.
Sam Mayer won.
Sam Mayer won the Cup Series.
Sam Mayer won the Xfinity.
No, that's right. Sam Mayer won
Yeah.
the Xfinity, and AJ Allmendinger won.
Allmendinger,
That's
yeah.
right. I'm sorry. Woo.
Yeah,
Brain fart.
I was pretty impressed with AJ. I kind of thought the colleague racing cars had kind of fallen off some. I was impressed to see him back up front
I was too, and I think
because he's kind of struggled the last couple road courses.
yeah, and we always think AJ
Yeah.
should be one of the front runners.
Yeah, you think
And-
he can carry a car that maybe isn't as good as you would think it would be.
Exactly.
So
And I
kinda stuck
was
out to me.
real close to picking him last week. I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't
I wanted my man Kyle to get it done, but
He,
I feel like if it weren't for AJ, he probably would have.
that's what I was fixing to say. He
Kind of a bad week for AJ to shoot back up because he really muscled the way up to. I know he lost second there at the end trying to get to AJ, but I feel like he would have won if it weren't for AJ, But hey, it's hard to beat him.
Real quick, I don't know if y'all saw it, but in the Xfinity race, Jeb Burton was out front, or he was leading to a restart,
Oh yeah, and he just
and he said I went in there. He said I was wrecking regardless who was outside of me, but he stuffed
Allgaier, wasn't it?
Justin Allgaier into the wall, and I mean, like, it was the quickest stop I've ever seen one of them cars come to. It was like, and they changed the restart zone.
Yeah, it's in the chicane now.
Yeah, they put it in the chicane where they used to come
Used to come off
straight.
Straight away.
Yeah, they changed it to the chicane, and do you think that made any difference in the race?
I think it was a little bit clean. They were coming out the oval and just being all over each other into one. I think it kind of separated them a little bit. But it also seemed like the leader had a huge advantage. But that's
Huge,
I think that was kind of worth it instead of them all
huge.
piling in there.
Yeah. So, there was a I'm trying to remember. So Allmendinger gets it done in the Cup race. I'm trying to pull this back up. Where are we at? Oh, here we are. I want to go to the. Oh man, hit too many buttons here. All right, standings, playoffs wise, real quick. Because of this race, that knocked. Let's see. Where are we in? We're in round of 10 now. Correct.
Round of 8.
Round of 8.
So
Round of
I
8.
think they go 12 to 8.
All right, so we knocked Keselowski, Ross Chastain, Bubba Wallace, and Kyle Busch out
Yep.
this week. Not
That's the playoffs. That's
Yeah.
really, I mean, really,
Guy out.
they ended in Texas really when he had a mechanical
Yeah.
problem or whatever and got the wall.
And I
So
think that's when
that pretty
Bubba's
much
ended
killed
too.
it. Yeah, I mean I wish if they're gonna do the playoffs, I wish they'd just go back to the 10 race shootout or whatever they did, not the elimination style thing.
They really want to, and they said years ago even that they wanted to, kind of go up against the stick and ball sports with this playoff type race and racing and series of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, after years of it, I guess there's some excitement in it because it gives you storylines. It gives
Yeah.
gives TV something to talk
Well,
about.
each elimination race, you got you got a little drama there. This guy's going to make it in, and I mean, I hadn't seen any real surprises off of it this year.
No.
But every now and then you have somebody who maybe like Ross Chastain the other year when he
Oh yeah.
at Martinsville. Maybe that was the. I don't know if you'll see something like that again or not, but
Yeah,
But-
that's what it creates, though. I will
yeah,
say
I
it
mean,
does
that's what I'm
create
saying.
a desperation.
Desperation. That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm looking for. Like I got to do something to get. to
Yeah,
the next
exactly,
round.
exactly. I don't know though.
But-
I it hadn't clicked with me yet.
Yeah, well, I
personally.
mean, I'm
personally, I don't know. I could see the highs of it, see the good out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm just one for. Like we've always raced, you do good all year. and that's rewarded.
it took me forever to be accepted because I was a diehard. I've run good all year. I deserve to be champion.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
I don't, and I sometimes feel for somebody that has had that year and just the last race of the season cost them because they didn't have a real good race or something. So
And speaking of, that last race on the new schedule, Phoenix Steel.
That was
Final.
known. Yeah, I mean that's kind of.
I know it's
I think their
known.
hands were tied on that.
But why? I mean, they got a contract. I mean,
I think
is
they
that
did.
the case? That's my thing. Is they never come out and say, "Well, we've got to be here for X amount of years."
Mm-hmm.
They want to be so secretive on it. I'm just like, just tell us we're going to be here for 5 years. Okay, good, whatever. We don't like it, but I get why they go there. Weather's nice.
right,
They're still trying for that West Coast market.
Yeah.
They packed that race out. You're right. You're going to pack the final race out anywhere you go. To me, Homestead was a
It was a great track.
great track for it. Very racy. Very. I mean,
it had
just
had multiple grooves. It
Yeah.
was, somebody could get up by the wall and run. It was
I still wish.
it was a good place to end it.
I still wish they kind of did like a lottery type thing, personally, and just
Pull somebody out. And
pull the
nobody
track
knows what
out.
it's going to be.
exactly. Well, I'm not saying that at the end of the year. I mean,
I'm
like at the
saying,
first year. Yeah.
till you do that.
That's the first race we're pulling just out. This is going to be your championship race. We base the schedule otherwise. Now Michigan in November,
Yeah,
or,
yeah.
Hey, you kind of end up in a rough spot. there.
or Watkins Glen in November might be rough. I mean, I get that. But it's just, man, I don't know. It still seems to me, even Homestead got like this, you knew certain drivers were going to go there and be good. We know who's been good there. Toyotas typically have been really good there. We know if Denny Hamlin can get there and him and Ross Chastain don't get together on the track at Phoenix, he's probably going to be good. He's been good there before. Even when Kyle Larson won, Kyle Larson was not that good that day.
Yeah,
he
he's
just
kinda-
got a great restart
Yeah.
and was able to make it stick for the last couple laps. So I don't know. I just wish we'd switched that up a little bit. I don't know. So anyway, AJ Allmendinger wins the Roval this week. And I
Got the win.
managed to win our pick this week. I had Tyler Reddick, who finished sixth.
Yeah.
I thought Sterling won it because I thought he sent me two options, which was I knew one. I didn't have the sheet in front of me all week, so I knew one was Ty Gibbs, and I knew the other one was Kyle Larson. I could not remember which one he picked, and I was thinking he picked Ty Gibbs, but he picked Kyle Larson.
Ooh,
So
you close to him there.
Connor, you got to do something. You had
I'm done.
you had Michael McDowell.
Yeah.
And you were picking great guys that should win this, like every week that you pick them.
Yeah. It's just saying there's good logic behind it, but it never works out.
There's great logic behind it. I give you that. I give you this was they're good picks, but it's not working
Yep.
for some reason.
But I get to pick first this week, though.
You do get to pick first this week. Recap on points real fast. Connor is in third with 8 points on our playoffs. I am in second with 15 points. Sterling is in the lead with 16 points. So I'm a point behind him. So Connor, going for broke here.
I'm gonna take old Busher. Let's see if our RFK
Busher.
find what
I
they
think
had.
that'd be a good one.
I just gotta throw something on the wall, see what sticks now.
I think that'll be a good one. I can't pick him. I already picked
Already
him.
got him.
Everybody else has already picked him. You just ain't picked him yet. Let's see. Sterling texted me who he wanted.
Saving him.
Probably should have used him.
Let's see here. Sterling is going with your man Kyle Busch.
I hope he does something. Don't know if he will.
And I haven't even thought about who I want at we're at Homestead this week. Man, the two I would really like I've already used. I think Larson or Reddick could do it.
Yeah, Reddick's always
I
good.
mean,
Yeah.
I think
That's
he's
your
going. Yeah,
Guys that don't mind the ride high.
that's what I'm saying. They'll put it on the wall and go. You know, I'm gonna pull something out of the hat here. You're gonna hate this, Connor. Somebody who's been doing good actually lately, running up front. I feel like for whatever reason, I just feel like he's gonna run good. I'm gonna pick Bubba Wallace.
Hey, not bad. Momentum's
The whole,
Yeah, exactly.
important.
Momentum's key. All right, Jamie.
the whole team's running good.
Jamie, you're not necessarily in on
Honorary
ours,
guest.
but honorary guest. Who you picking for this week? If you had to pick a driver to win this week, you got any of them. So who would you pick this week?
I would say Larson's going to have a good race there. I'm kind of on the William Byron bandwagon right now.
That's a good bandwagon.
yeah,
to be
I know,
on.
really.
That's a-
But I look for Larson to have a good week. I think that'd be a
That'd be
solid
your-
pick
I feel like
there.
he. I feel like he. Yeah. I was. If I hadn't already picked him, I would have picked him
Yeah,
this week.
that's kind of
There's a few more.
another
That's why I was trying to.
maybe a less obvious.
Christopher Bale could
Not
come
bad,
up and
yeah.
have a sneaky. He ain't done nothing else the rest of this year hardly, but
Yeah.
I feel like he could come up and maybe do something. Yeah. Other than that, I really don't know. You've had Logano win there before in the past, hadn't he? Yeah.
He won championship.
Yeah, he won a
so
championship there. But this car's so different. You can't base anything
That's
off
kind
of
of
that
it's
anymore.
kind of hard
Can't base nothing
to tell.
off that. Nothing at all. All right, guys. I also want to thank our good friends from Rev Max Racing. You need a new suit, gloves, all that fun stuff. Go check out our friends over at Rev Max Racing. They hooked me up with a nice new suit. Wore it a couple times now and love it. Love it. Fits great.
Sweet.
Fits it's comfortable. Comfortable to wear, comfortable in the car. So that's good. So y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. I think we might have them here with us here for too long.
Cool deal.
Over here in house with us. So y'all head over to Rev Max Racing. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, all that fun stuff. They'll hook you up. Also Dixie Made. Dixie Made right over here in Florence, South Carolina, right over here by the flea market. Y'all head over to Dixie Made. See our friend Brandon over there. He's running our iRacing league
Yep.
with us. He actually won Hard Charger at I think it was the Legends Oval, I want to say.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he started like 18th, finished 11th.
Nice.
So,
There you go.
so good. He texts me. He's like, "You sure that's supposed to go to me?"
I think I would have
He
won.
come out of iRacing retirement.
I think I would have won at Eldora if it wasn't for
Oh
Devin.
yeah,
Devin winning.
I owe you $5 too.
Really? I
You
thought
got-
me and Devin tied.
no, you got quick time.
Oh, that's right. It's the next
You
one.
got quick time.
Sweet.
I gotta send you your. I didn't have your stuff, so I gotta send it to you. I gotta cash app you some $5. Put on your tab. All right.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I buy you a hot dog at the track this
There you
weekend.
go.
There you go.
Just tell them to hold on to it for when you need it.
But yeah, go check out our friends over at Dixie Made, guys. It's getting that time of year. Time to throw on a pullover. I'm gonna tell you what. I had one on this past weekend. We were sitting at the track, and all of a sudden that sun went down. My dad looked at me. He goes, "I'm gonna run out here and get our pullovers real quick out the truck." Good job. Good thinking. Because it dropped down and got cool.
Oh yeah.
So y'all head over there. Awesome stuff. Southern Fried Cotton, Drake, Axis, just to name a few brands. Simply Southern. Y'all head over to Dixie Made and get whatever you guys and girls need out there. They got all kinds of stuff. It's getting that time of year, start that Christmas shopping.
Yep.
Shh, don't tell nobody. But great place. They just opened their layaway for the Christmas season for this year. So y'all go pick up whatever you need. Go check them out. Also, guys, MPM McAllister Precision Marketing. Jamie, what would you have done if there was companies around like this when you were coming up? I mean,
There's no telling, man. I mean, I might be in cup, man.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Because that was not my strong suit ever. So it's good that there are people that do that now.
Tanya McAllister over there at McAllister Precision Marketing, she is on top of her game, guys. She is she knows who you need to know. She puts your face out there. This social media marketing now is the biggest thing ever. And it's so great because you get to see some of the drivers' personalities somewhat, and if someone would show it a little more. But it's great. It's great. So man, when all this stuff takes off like this, is good. So if you're a new driver in the game, especially, or even a seasoned driver in the game that just looking to up your marketability, you need to get hooked up with a great marketing team. So go head over to marketwithmpm.com, McAllister Precision Marketing. Get with Tanya. She'll point you definitely in the right direction. Well, what else we got?
I think we about covered it all. Come see us Saturday.
We'll be at Dillon Motor Speedway. One thing I didn't say earlier, I didn't really go over my weekend. Saturday went to racetrack with something or talked about that. Sunday went to church, all that fun stuff. Jackson turned 8 years old yesterday. So we had his little birthday party. We had to move the race car out the shop to put his bicycle in here.
Yeah,
So,
Nice.
priorities. Priorities.
Got his first set of wheels.
Yeah. So we went out to the Miracle League right there at Greenwood Park where they built the new all-inclusive playground. And that's where we had his birthday party at the playground. He played and played and played and played. And all he wanted to do was get his balloons because he had all kind of helium balloons. He just wanted to see how high they would fly. So he found out. He was not going to be happy till that balloon flew. And he just watched it forever. It was funny. So, but no, we had a great time out there. Great to go out there to a playground like that, and want to thank everybody out there who has donated to the Miracle League out there. I know a lot of you guys did help us help them build the all-inclusive playground out there. So they're always needing more donations for sure. So anybody wants to help, get in touch with me. We'll get you set up with them. So anyway, we're going to Dillon this weekend.
yes, sir.
Be there Saturday. See what we can do.
Absolutely.
What you think about it? You had a good run over there
Yeah,
last
had a good run. Hopefully, get a good draw again. That about determines how the weekend goes.
I know. He
Can
came
you
back,
draw for me this
came
weekend?
back and told me he drew the pole. I was like,
Well, it's got to be running out soon.
Think,
So we'll see.
Apparently not, Connor. Apparently not. We thought that a year ago, but it hadn't yet. So, I'm waiting for mine to come around. I cannot. If we have, like we had last time, if we have 19 cars, I'm going to draw in the last 5 every time.
Yeah, I was always like that with a draw. I
I can't stand it. I don't know. It's rough. So we've changed some more stuff on the car again.
Good.
I had a rough night last time we were over there. Cars did not feel right all day long. So
Hopefully, you have better luck this time.
hopefully so. Hopefully so. We changed some more stuff. Got some other stuff coming up we'll talk about. But anyway.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate all y'all hanging out with us. Jamie, appreciate you coming in with us, sitting here with us the whole night here.
Yeah.
Connor's dad, everybody. I'm going to cough to death before we get off of here. Golly.
But, no, thanks for having me. Enjoyed it.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. All right, guys. Well, appreciate all our support out there. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with us tonight. We will catch y'all next time, I guess. Come out to the track, go to your local track, wherever. Just come out, watch us, hang out with us.
Later.
What's happening to the brakes, Connor?
They're hit list through 6.
We're still on live on Facebook.
Okay.
This is the after party over here. Nah. Landon Connor's not happy with his Braves right now. Just let you know.
I won't even think about
Wasn't
it.
happy last.
Yeah.
Was last night? Yeah.
No,
No, night before. Excuse me. Yeah.
Has not
Or
been happy lately
Saturday,
with him,
yeah.
apparently.
been rough.
All right, guys. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next time.